Yashasvi Jaiswal out/not out. Chalo, let's have our views on it before we get to various other aspects of this test match.
Okay, so I'll just be, I think, I'll start off with it. I think it was clearly out. I think it's basically just going by the rule book here. A lot of commentators obviously aren't really happy, specifically the Indian commentators, as to a wrong decision was taken, or maybe, you know, if there is technology, then you should just go by it. If there was nothing on Snicko, nothing on Ultra Edge, then Yashasvi Jaiswal should have been handed a lifeline. But then what the rule book I think clearly says is that if the umpire finds that there is a conclusive evidence on the field, if there is a clear deflection, if the third umpire can spot it, then the technology becomes redundant in that case. So just from that perspective, going by the rule book here and going by what the visuals clearly saw, that there was a nick, whether it was of the glove or from the sticker of the bat, there was a clear deflection and hence it was given out. To me, I don't think there should be any controversy regarding it.
No controversy at all to it. Clear evidence the ball deviated.
Cut, copy, paste, you
Yeah,
can say
yeah.
three lines.
Cut, copy, paste.
Control C, Control V.
Yeah, because ball deviated Snicko meter again. It's not the first time that the Snicko meter hasn't worked during this test series.
When was it? You were talking about KL Rahul. But it worked then, na? You saw the
Snicko, yeah, Snicko meter, it worked. It worked.
I would say, in fact, this was one of the, 1 out of 100 occasions where Snicko didn't work. 99% times it does work. It is that foolproof with technology. I'm taking this as an aberration of the year, perhaps, when it comes to Snicko being used. I would say one thing, yes, if you follow just the rule book, if you just go by how things are, how decisions are made, then you would have been like, no, you had to wait for the Snicko, and because Snicko didn't show, you can't give it out. But as our game
rules doesn't say
exactly
that. Yeah.
I'm saying, going by convention, what you see, how decisions are overturned or not overturned by third umpire, basis on Snicko evidence. Here, though, I would say, just as our game is governed by, or human error is part of the game, human intelligence also is part of the game, and this was about human intelligence and not human error. Why I say that is because if the umpire also had waited for Snicko to give some sort of proof, then the decision would have gone in favor of Yashasvi Jaiswal. But what the third umpire does over here is goes by human intelligence, and okay, you can't turn a blind eye to a clear deflection over there. So whether or not technology was able to register that deviation, was able to register that nick, is something I let go of, because what I see is I see a clear deviation, I see a clear change in ball tracking, and that's enough evidence that there is contact and decision done.
So, firstly, just to put the rules straight, as I mentioned earlier, Snicko is just to assist the third umpire. Eventually, third umpire is the decision maker. Snicko is not the decision maker. It's just an assist. He has to look at various other things, including what he sees on camera as well, right? Visual evidence. And that's his call to take. That's why you have a human element there as well. So, from the umpire's point of view, if he saw a deviation and he gave it out, ignoring Snicko, he did not break any rules. So that's the first thing I want to put it out. He did not break any rules. He can go based on the visual evidence that he sees. Correct. And he did that. Now, to my opinion on how I saw it, so just to put it in a different way, if I was third umpire, I probably would have given not out. And I'll tell you why. One, that the Snicko did not pick it. So that's giving me an indication. I may or may choose to ignore it. That's another thing. But the second comes the visual evidence. And I did see the deviation, that the ball going in a particular way did move. But I do not, and again, this is where, eyes can play tricks with you. I do not see the impact of the ball hitting either the bat or the glove. So I'm not seeing an impact. Sometime when you see an impact, by impact I mean you see if it's like the glove, you see it, right? It's pressing the glove or going against it or sometime like that.
Sometimes it can be just a brush, right?
Yeah.
And this was that case, I felt.
I'm just going to get to that. So I do not see that either. When I'm looking at it, I don't see any visual evidence of the ball hitting the bat or the glove. I see the deviation. But I also have seen deviation a gazillion times in watching cricket, where the ball makes no contact, but there is a late deviation that the ball does. A lot of time going past the batter. If you see cricket, you will sometimes see a ball going past a bat. not even close to the bat, I'm saying this far from the bat, and it swings late from there, and you get excited sometime, right? Oh, that could be out, you see, and it goes deviating from there, and the keeper catches, and you think it's out, and when you see the replay, you see that the ball is not even this close, it's that much far away from the bat, but it swings late. So it's at the time of that bat swing, supposing maybe it is the wind that the bat swing brings with it, that gives that slight extra deviation for the ball to go away. It happens multiple time in cricket, multiple time. And I'm beginning to think that could this be a possibility that this is that time where it's actually going past his bat in a glove, and that deviation happens because of the swing. Because of the swing, you see those late deviations. Sometimes it's not even the swing. Sometimes the ball also usually moves drastically much later. So again, there is no way for me to 100% guarantee that as well. Like, you know, that whether it is. What was the on-field umpire's decision in this case?
Soft signal was not out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Because
then
there were two confusions in the mind of the umpire, I felt.
Correct.
One was contact, second was whether the catch was
Correct.
clean.
So now when the soft signal is not out, I'm just saying, though now you don't, you know,
No
you can,
conclusive evidence to prove that it has
yeah,
overturned.
that's why I said if I was third umpire, one, the Snicko is not picked it. Two, I don't see a visual contact. I'm seeing deviation, yes, but I'm not seeing a visual
But no,
contact.
there is a particular angle which does
No,
show.
I saw all
Yeah,
that.
so there is one that shows a little bit of contact over
It
there.
was very close. Now
Very
you can't be
close.
sure
That's
if
what I'm
that
trying to say.
Again, but
It's a-
again, that's what a brush is, right? At times.
But that's-
So I
But
will
no,
take
conclusive
that.
evidence for it, na?
But then exactly my point. So for a brush, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm breaking it down into three. I'm not talking about a brush. I'm talking about a contact. When it is an impact, it thumps into things. There are different ways I'm going to see it. No, one, I'm seeing Snicko has not picked it. Two, I'm not seeing a visual thing of hitting, which I do see a lot of times. A lot of times it really hits and you can see it hitting. It's not. Okay, fine. The third option could be a brush, right? But for that also the on-field umpire has not given it out. So with all of that, as a third umpire, I'm just saying I'm putting myself in the third. I'm not overruling this decision. I don't see enough for me to overrule it. Yeah, if I thought the on-field umpire gave it out,
Then
and I'm
yeah.
also seeing that there is deviation or whatever, I may still be tempted. But right now I'm not going. And that's why my point towards deviation here is that the point of that particular bit of deviation is that a lot of time, you guys can see, rewind some footage, see it during test matches, white ball matches, a lot of time, that when the ball, it bounces, and let's say it's going as an outswinger, and you know that this is the deviation or slight deviation that's going like an outswinger, it goes past the bat and you see a much graver deviation happen and goes to the keeper and you get excited. And sometimes you look foolish because when you see in the replay, the bat is here and this is the gap. This is how far the ball was. And I was like, why was I getting excited that he's caught it? Because you saw that ball move so late, you thought, oh, that was an edge. But it was really far away from the bat. And that is what that's why I don't take deviation.
Two
that
things.
seriously.
One, I see there being one particular angle that shows me there's some sort of contact. A brush cannot always be very clearly established. But there is one that shows you that yes, you can't rule out a brush. That's point number one. Point number two, I say, is deviation. For how long can I, as third umpire, ignore the deviation? I can't just turn a blind eye
because
to
the
it.
deviation doesn't necessarily mean a contact. That's what my point
Because
is.
I have this one snapshot which shows me that there's a brush.
All snapshots I've
No,
seen.
maybe.
None of it is showing me a definite touch.
No, but maybe-
a brush is not a definite hit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
But
what I'm
No, but
trying to
that's
say.
enough, no?
but for I cannot tell you a brush. I'm seeing see again. That's why is a Snicko there?
I'm saying
For-
if I'm
for
trying
brush.
to find reasons, if I'm trying to
Huh,
find
but I'm
reasons for
just
the
saying, why is
deviation,
a Snicko
what
there?
could it be? I'm looking for right logic here.
No,
So
no,
if I'm
you are
looking for
trying to-
reasons,
so you are looking for a reason to call him that he's out.
because I
You're
need,
looking for a reason to call him
I
out.
need.
Why
so-
should you be looking for a reason to call him out?
I need something to tell me no, that deviation is something else.
Oh,
I
no.
need reason,
No,
right? I need
no,
to
it's the other
justify
way around.
myself.
No, you're
it's
saying
the other way around.
proven. No, you're saying you are innocent until proven guilty. You're saying the other way. You're guilty unless proven innocent. No. It cannot work the other way around. I am the umpire. Now you are saying it in a way that now I'm looking for a reason to give him out. No. My job is not to look
I
for a
am
reason
saying,
to give him
how
out.
did I get to B? If I can see B's happened, I am trying to find a reason. How did I get to B? And I see A, which is that little snapshot that I see where there being a little bit of contact. So if I
Contact isn't
B can happen
conclusive
with
evidence,
gazillion
nah.
things. That's what I say. B can happen.
But it's too
happen
big of a
without touch.
coincidence that I have an angle, I have some sort of visual evidence to suggest that no, this could be the case.
I
This
don't
isn't
see-
sufficient visual
I don't
evidence.
see any.
Sufficient visual evidence to
I don't
actually
see
change
anything
that decision.
That's telling me that it's the glove or the bat that's given me the deviation.
Yeah.
I see the deviation, but there are a lot of times. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of time, you will also see batsmen sometimes pulling the ball. Ball is far away, but after it goes, you'll see it deviate, and the keeper will have to dive.
But I think the difference in that deviation and this deviation, the only thing that I think I don't agree with you here is that kind of deviation is sort of the banana swing. It swings really late going to the keeper. You can see it angling in.
Here.
But here, I think at the angle which it actually
Just this
deviated,
much.
it just
So
suggested
can
that
we
it's a
freeze
sudden
this? Can we
deviation.
freeze this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just
that's what I'm
this
saying.
much. I
That's
think
a lot of conjecture.
At
That
times
is
you
a
need-
lot of
that's also
conjecture.
true.
you
Yeah.
need one
Doing
minor,
analysis.
you need one minor fabric to get in touch with the ball, and that's
Yeah,
technically that's how.
Exactly.
But Snicko has not given me. No, that's what I'm saying. My thing is that deviation can happen automatically as well. It does happen.
I just think the angle
So
and the
if
suddenness of
on-field
the
umpire,
deviation.
on-field umpire has given it, soft signal
But
is not out.
if ball tracking is showing like it did,
That deviation it will show anywhere.
Yeah.
I can show you
So
balls.
if I put this picture right next to that ball tracking that people are talking about on social media as well, if I put the two things together, I think that counts for evidence. One, there is this snapshot which shows me yes, there could be a little bit of a brush there, and then there is the deviation.
But this doesn't show that
that's
there's a
what
brush there.
I'm repeating. The deviation doesn't necessarily have to be with this. That's why I'm saying you're looking for a reason to give him out. That's not the third umpire's job. You got to first understand what the third umpire comes for. His reason is to just call what he sees, not look for a reason. If I'm looking for a reason to give him out, then I'll start seeing, acha, there is this touch, and there is no, nothing at all. You just rely on what you see. Simple. As the Snicko said, nothing. Do I see a clear visual evidence that it's hit? Nothing. Only thing I'm seeing, there's deviation. Now I'm putting, okay, there's deviation, so let me
So
put it
I
it went
can
close
twist
to
it
that
the
bat.
other way by saying I'm looking for reasons to negate the deviation.
That's what your
true
job
because
is.
the umpire is given
That's
not
what I'm
out.
saying. You are innocent until proven guilty. You are reversing that. You are guilty, now prove it. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, but,
it doesn't.
who-
See, you're
No, because
putting
the umpire
cart
had
before
given
the
not
horse.
out.
Think of it again. You are saying
you're turning a blind eye. That's the way I look
No,
at it.
no, no. The
You're turning a
umpire had,
blind eye.
The thing is that the umpire had
Because
given not out.
again,
You're not
I'm
understanding
going
the
by
basis of
there are
decision
again
making.
the decisions are split, but again, so many cricketers are saying yes, absolutely was
No,
out as well.
because they think, are you not getting my point? They think that there is a hit there, that the ball is hit. I'm saying, if I was third umpire, I would not give it out because I visually don't see the hit on the thing.
And deviation, you're not willing to buy.
But deviation can happen with gazillion reasons. That's what I'm saying. It does happen with gazillion reasons.
Again,
There's sometimes late swing. It's
But
the
you're
back
choosing
swing.
what to see and what not to
No,
see.
So that's what my job is.
But because
No,
the
my
that's
job
a
is
reason-
that I have to be 100% sure when I'm taking the decision. I'm here sitting on that position and there's a decision that's been taken not out. Now I have to be 100% sure that I have to overrule that decision.
Yeah.
I've got none of it. That's why Snicko used for precisely this reason. Because there are a lot of time you see a ball deviate or not deviate, but it's not really, when it comes to this fiber sort of a touch, you can't. And that Snicko sometimes picks it up.
Right.
And you say that, listen, my eyes can deceive me, but that Snicko has picked it. This time Snicko also
If
did
the
not.
umpire would have given out, I think then
Yeah.
he would not have been able to overturn the decision. The third umpire.
Yeah, then
Correct.
maybe the owners would have been the other way around. But I'm saying if I'm there, I always need reason. If I'm the third umpire, a lot of reason to give a batter out.
Sufficient
So
evidence.
I have to be happy. Yes, I've got enough. Otherwise, it's like in that old age parlance, I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the batter most of the time. But I'm convinced, like 100% convinced, no way that this is not out. Yashasvi, you walk. That's how I would see it. I'm not to say that. See, again, as I said, eventually you don't know the truth. I don't know the truth. Maybe it was a touch only. Yashasvi might know that. And maybe he did brush, he would know it. But I'm just not thinking of through Yashasvi's eyes or an Australian team or an Indian team. I'm just thinking through the third umpire.
But even if it was a glove, even Yashasvi wouldn't know.
See,
it,
even
it was a glove.
let's say if the soft signal would have been out and would have been referred, let's say Yashasvi would have referred it, if the third umpire would have found nothing conclusive, like there would have been inconclusive evidence, then he would have had to stay with the call of the on-field umpire, and that would be out. that's the case.
There was nothing conclusive.
Yes.
Anyway, that is done. The one thing that I would want to add is that we've just discussed it because it's become a controversial thing. Let it not take away from the fact that
lost.
Australia have won this
Yeah,
test
yeah.
match.
True.
It has nothing to do with. We don't want to undermine that. It's not the reason that the test match has been decided, but because it became a talking point, a crucial one at that. Who knows? Whatever said and done, he could have got a well-deserved 100 as well. Missed out on both innings. Is batted rather well. But just because it was a turning point.